have got to show people this printer, but you're so crazy. Start. Okay, friends, hold on just a second. I'm trying to do this. This is definitely awkward, right? Let me make sure it's working. Phoebe the cat that hates the podcast, is in rare form today. So, hello. Isn't this such an odd position? But how can I do both? You can't switch back and forth. However, this cat is just a little bit crazy. So let me just pin this Facebook Live, and then we will pin. I gotta do it from my computer. And then we're gonna jump in. I'm just gonna walk through hand model style. This Munbyn printer. Yes, there are two here. I'll explain why in just a second. But let me pin this real quick. I'm also live on Instagram. Never done that before. Never done it. Hold on. Make sure it's all cooking with fire. Also, to the Instagram people, I'm so sorry I can't look at what you're writing because there's a little bit too much technology going on over here. So, let me just print it and we'll jump in. So all I'm going to do is really just show you kind of what I find that people are struggling with, and then just a quick demonstration of it. Here we go. However, this cat, who is currently also directly under this table, is by far the most annoying creature I've ever seen in my life. Right, Favorite? Right. Right, says Feed the cat, who didn't have to suffer through the podcast this week because we didn't even do one. Okay. Let us... Okay. It seems like it's fine. Okay. I can't really see questions, but I'll see if I can pull them up on my phone in a minute. That said, let's kind of dive in here. Everything should be fine, but I have so much technology around me currently that... And this cat, man. I gotta say, I would like to return this cat, get another cat. That would be ideal. If you guys are having an issue, let me know. Okay, so basically what we have here, I'm just gonna get started, is this is a Munbyn printer. This is a 300 DPI Munbyn printer. DPI, dots per inch. Kind of a old newspapery print term, but it works. Just make sure this is working, because I have it pulled up on my iPad and it keeps saying it's interrupted, but I'm gonna do kind of, the show must go on. If you guys are having issues, let me know. Okay. I think we're good. If we're not, I'm so sorry, kids. This is all I got. I got about 50 things plugged in to make this happen, because this Munbyn needs to be plugged into your computer. So, since I have two, let's demonstrate this adorable pink one. Open. All this does is open this. Here's the feeder tray. This is where your labels have to touch so that this guy knows that there's paper in it. Very spotty slide thing. I almost would do this with two hands. Again, my model hands only got one. And then you're going to be able to close that here. Here's where your print comes out. And now here's how simple this is. You have power, you have computer, because I don't have the Bluetooth one, so this one's got to be plugged in, and then on and off, right? So there is a power switch here. This is power supply, power switch. So you can't just plug in here and expect it to go. It's got to be an on and off thing. So this guy's plugged in. I purposefully didn't feed in the paper because I want to show you how to do that if you're curious of how this works, but this guy is off. Why can't I pull this up on my phone? Let me go pull you guys up on my phone, make sure I'm not missing anything. Because I feel like this is glitchy. But, oh, Phoebe's right on the table, Heather. I'd show you the tail. I'm sure it's going to pop out. But just stay there. If anybody has questions where I'm going, I'll tell you everything I know. It's not a ton, but we will keep this going. So, we're going to close this, right? And then we're going to power it on by just this flip of a switch back here. There you go. So this indicator light, it tells you a lot. It's the only way the printer can, speak to us. Red means it doesn't think it has paper in it. He is correct. He doesn't have paper in him. It's okay, Munbyn, I gotcha. So what we're going to do is we have 3 paper options. I just want to talk about these. I bought these on Prime Day through Amazon, through Munbyn, but it seems like you can buy this whole thing in a kit, which I wish I had. But instead I kind of piecemealed it. I didn't really know what I was doing. I just wanted the Prime Day deal because someone had posted it and it made me panic. So these are 3-inch circles, 3-inch hearts, cute, but also quite pigmented. And then we have kind of the go-to OG, these labels. So this is what I kind of feel like this is kind of where this succeeds best. These type of labels. This stuff is cute. This maybe for like a themed holiday. If you were just jumping into this, I would say just kind of start with this step right here. And that's all you kind of need to go on. Now, when you open the Munbyn, what you get is you get these. Feels like they gave you something free. They did not. These are test labels, test shipping labels. Munbyn is great about printing shipping labels, which is pretty cool. But what we want to, I mean, that printing shipping labels is kind of boring. So what we're going to want to do is use these as my little test case for you guys today. And then we're going to dive in. Now, before I load the paper, I know a lot of people have questions. I do have an iPad, an iPad. But what I want to show you is the age-old question is people says, where can you make the labels? Canva, free Canva, in fact. So I want to jump into free Canva and kind of show you guys where to do that. I'm not going to build these on Canva because I actually don't know how to use an iPad effectively, but I just want to show you that I've already made these extremely simply in free Canva. Actually, I had to download Canva on the iPad for this. So I was making this for a Cookie College class. You can kind of see it. I got the logo, I got little cookie emblems, some text. Now, can you see? Everything is black and white. Okay, it's a thermal printer, doesn't print in color. You don't have to buy cartridges. That's the good and bad of it. So if you're thinking like, oh, I just upload my colored logo, it's going to come out, actually, it's going to come out like this. Hi, I look very weird on. If you're wondering if this is a very short table, yes, you're correct. It's a table. I haven't extended the legs out because I felt more prepared being closer to the ground. So let me just zoom in on this example real quick. This is what I was trying to print. And just brighten that one up a bit. Excuse me, iPad people. You and your Apple products. So this, can you see, barely colored print? That's what my test was, and here's what it came looking like. So you can see that none of the big text came out blotchy. It's not a colored printer. Don't try to make it one. Okay, cool. So I'm going to have to actually get behind the computer after this, but let's load in the paper, and I want to show you how to do this. This is what I think people make a huge mistake on. Two huge mistakes I usually see is kind of this loading of the paper because they skip one step. So what we're going to do is we're going to feed this right under here gently, both hands. Slide this in here. Now this wasn't included, this feeder. Neither were these smaller labels. I did buy this. All of it is Munbyn. And then we want to make sure, like I said, these touch this black feeder thing, and we're going to close it. You're going to think that's all you needed to do, but here's what the Munbyn website says 30 million times. Long press this green button until you hear a single beep. See, it like takes oddly just a little longer than you think it should. And then it wastes two of them. That's what it says it does. It wastes them, and such is our life. So I'm going to jump over to the computer. I'm going to take my speaker with me, and I'm going to press print. You guys still have the printer view. Cool, cool. Okay. And now we're going to print this. Oh, look, other people struggling with Apple as well. Now I can read your guys' comments. At least T says, Heather, you're on IG. You aren't showing it to the camera. No, I'm so sorry, guys. There's a separate camera for Instagram. Hi, people. But I can't see the other side. So that was my first wild and thing. I'm sorry, Instagram people that are taking a back seat to Facebook people. Is my problem. But let's go. What you can see is I'm actually going to pull up the print I just showed you guys. So, again, I have a 2.5 by 2.25 by 1.25. So that's important, is that the size is always correct. Where are you, little guy? Oh my goodness, I have so many of these on my desktop. Let me just grab the right one. Okay, I'm gonna click print. I'm so sorry you guys can't see this part. You can't switch on a computer from, you know, screen share. It's just a Facebook limitation. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna just print off 5 of these. Sending it over there in 3, 2, 1. And let's check. Okay, hold on, Instagram people. Hold on, Instagram. There you go. There you go, friends. So here we have right here, and Instagram people. This is my first Instagram live. Here, I'm going to show this to Facebook camera first. Let me refocus. Facebook camera, try buddy. So we have these. You see how simple that was? We have the wasted alignment. Here's the thing, you might be thinking, okay, that's such a waste. Let me make sure that the Instagram people can see. There you go. So I want to show you, guys, can you all see? Is that it came down pretty close to the bottom. It didn't come perfectly close to the top, like it's cut off. So you're not going to want to get close to these bleed edges. But you can see the quality. Hold on, I'm going to show it to both cameras. You can see the quality. You can see the instant stick. You can probably see Phoebe right there. And then we have, for my Facebook people, here you go. Here's the quality that we're looking at. Again, instantly dry. And a sticker that way. So, scoochie this guy back. And we're going to print that label that I showed you guys in Canva. Let me just pull up Canva again. Sorry. Running about 30 applications at the same time. But it is fine. It is fine. So let's pull up this guy. If you guys have any questions, I got you pulled off to the left. I see one question. Can you use any kind of thermal labels or just the ones for Munbyn? Melanie, there's so many different options, and Munbyn kind of said, hey, use whatever. As long as Munbyn has the drop down to show you the size option, the only important part is when you go to press print, you tell it to go to the correct size option. So, Lily says, can there be clear labels used with this printer? Great question. None that I've seen. Clear. Let me just do a quick Google search. Clear. Thermal. Clear. Got too many softwares running. Clear. Thermal labels. I'm going to guess no, though, because of the way this, it has to be this treat paper. If anyone has an answer, please let me know. But in the meantime, while my mouse decides to work, I'm just going to create another quick design here. So what we're gonna do is download this thing. Give me just a second. Here's the one thing that I found that Munbyn was like, hey, really try to print as a PDF. Don't try it as anything else but a PDF. So, okay, cool. So trying to print it as something that's not a PDF seems to be not very compatible with this. Where is my print? Okay, I'm going to try to print that one I just showed you guys with the cookie background. Let's print off 10 of these. 1, 2, 3, and go. Oh, I only printed them off. I'm sorry. 10. Excuse me. So you see how when you leave it set up like this, you can just kind of churn and burn through these versus having to waste it every time we switch the labels over. So the switching of the labels is a waste point. It's not the favorite waste point, but I mean, it's pretty neat. Tracy says, will you always have the extra wasted labels at the beginning? Tracy, great question. That's just what I wanted to address is you're only going to have the wasted labels when you add in this new paper. So what I'm going to do is we're going to switch over to the circle labels. Again, sorry you guys have to painfully watch this, but if you want a Munbyn, you'll thank me later. So what I'm going to do is take this out and rip this off. Excuse me. Take that out. This lifts right up. I'm going to say this contraption right here is pretty cheapy. I'm going to say it was $20, and I linked in the Facebook Live kind of the products that I used here in this Facebook Live. This thing was $20 a speeder. I don't get how I could use it otherwise, but hey, it works, right? So here we're going to load this in here. I think this is fun. Excuse me while I use the strength of Hercules to get this on. Somebody there is crying saying I'm doing this wrong, and that is expected. I'm clueless. Ugh. Okay, and then we're going to load this right here. And a little tape right here to keep it from rolling. Ever so gently, ever so gently. And then we're going to load it. So again, loading the paper. I'm going to extend these, use both hands pressure, otherwise it feels like it could break. You want to make sure that this first label touches the black feeder roll, and then just nicely, gently align this up. I think if this isn't lined up very well, you're going to have some bigger issues. So just do that. Remember, close. You think that's it, but this is what it told you. It said long press. Okay. There we go. So, I think it was Tracy's question. Did it just waste these 4? Yes, it did. But if I just let this setup always set up this way, I wouldn't be wasting them because it wouldn't need to do that every time I switched. Okay, let me go back. I'm so sorry you guys can't see my screen, but I'm just gonna grab another print and we're gonna throw it in here. 3-inch circle. So same background. Keep in mind, if you actually have these 3-inch circles, you're actually gonna print a square and you're just gonna have to understand that it's gonna cut off. Let's print three of these in 1, 2, 3. Okay, hold on, let me pull up your questions. I feel like I'm running around with a chicken with my head cut off, but such is life, right? Okay, now these oh, my mistake. Let me use myself as an example of what not to do. What I forgot in my haste was to reset the size. I got everything's right, but I forgot to tell my computer that I actually switched the size of the print. So let's go run and do that. So again, these are, sorry, I'm shouting, it's 3 by 3, so we're going to want to do 3 by 3, and then we're going to print 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. Tracy says she knows how to do it without waste. I think, Tracy, after you load them, if I didn't press the calibration button, isn't the calibration, I'm so curious, please teach me your ways. Isn't the calibration is what's wasting it? Because it kind of said it in the instructions that it's going to always kind of feed 2 through. So here we go. Circle, again, I designed it in Canva as a square, just a quick and dirty design, and it printed all the way to the edge, nice black, crisp. These are slightly faded, but you can see that the printer didn't care. It printed them all pretty solidly. There's no color here or anything. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to print color. I just want to demonstrate how little this printer likes color. Let me grab you guys my speaker. Tracy's going to sign up to do a Facebook Live, right, Tracy? Hold on, let me send you that link, bud. www.sugarcookiemarketing.com. Where's else? I'd love to see a professional Munbyner teach me their ways. So I've actually designed this label upside down. I wanted to test something else. So what we're going to have to do, we're going to just drag and drop it here, print, and the settings are correct. So let's go and print a colored label. So again, this printer doesn't want to print in color. I just told it to print in color. What do you think is going to happen? Just like I showed you, this is the same print. Got nothing there at the top. My Instagram browse. Let me show you what this looks like. The print was supposed to look like this. So kind of get a vibe. You see that top side so light, ended up with absolutely nothing there. Do I think this printer is super cool? I'm going to have to say, yeah, I think it is super cool. The benefit of it, no print, no ink, no print ink, which is, I just looked up my HP over there, which is the printer from hell. Each XL cartridge cost me about $49, $41, something like that. This, outside of the cost of this, it's going to cost you 3 cents. Each one of these is 3 cents. Again, I did waste plenty of them. My fault. Let me cry so you don't have to. I did buy this Munbyn during Prime Day. Somebody else said they found a coupon code that got it down to $100. I paid $155. It seems like Munbyn does a lot of the Prime Day deals. Currently, I think this one is around $180, but when I clicked to the website and then clicked away, I got hit with a discount code for $25. So it seems like they're constantly running promos. They sell this as a kit as well. So I thought that was pretty neat. Let me check your guys' questions and comments. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Tracy's going to teach us in a Facebook Live how to do it a little better, though. Me stumbling around on an iPad. It's like hard to run around and do all this. Selena said the picture quality is blurry for me. It looks great on IG. Yeah, I'm going to assume it's just this camera. It's hard to focus. I can't be running 350 things at the same time. I'm sorry about that, guys. What fonts do you use? Mine always come pixelated with plain fonts. Kathy, these fonts were the default fonts in Canva free. I'll say that the small font, it's thin, but the thick font looks absolutely fine. Again, this is the 300 DPI model. There you guys go. I don't know if I can focus there. Focusing. But let me go back. I do have 2 of them. Jody, the reason I have 2 is because I was supposed to do for the Cookie College a comparison of a 300 DPI and a 203 DPI version. So that's kind of the reason why my computer didn't want to acknowledge that there's 2 Munbyn, so I'll have to hook this up to a laptop. Corey said the cam. Corey, what? You gotta add more words. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, I think that is it. I mean, I'm not a Munbyn. It got better with your pletching. Way to go. Refocus the camera. And then I'm doing 30. Corey, get your butt over here so we can do this together and you can do the refocusing. I'm sweating. But I think that covers it. That's the Munbyn 101. In the Cookie College, I taught everyone like how to actually print. That seems to be the most frustrating part, is the print quality. From what I can see, it's people, when you go to export from Canva, do PDF print. Not PDF, not JPEG, not PNG. Select PDF print. It's going to be a higher quality. I'm worried about mine. Is it 180 DPI or 150? Jody, from what I can see from their website, there is no option for 180 or 150. It was either 203 or 300. That's currently what I see. I didn't see any other options for that. I think that is it, guys. I gotta go actually jump in and teach a Facebook Live in the Cookie College about the Cookie College. So I hope that answers some of your questions. I'll see you guys. If you have questions, you can pass them on to Tracy. She knows more than I do. So, bye, Instagram people. Bye, my Instagram people. Boop. And then bye, my Facebook people. Thank you guys for your patience. I'm never doing a double live again.